Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the Apple Watch Ultra that I've been wearing for the past month or so. I've been using it every single day and wanted to share the overall experience, durability, and more. And this is the first Apple Watch that I've actually wanted to wear, and I typically like the Apple Watch. I upgraded from a Series 7, but normally I'm just not much of a watch person. So this one I actually like. I think it fits my style and just fits me better because I'm so big as far as my hands and my wrists. So because of that, I think it just fits me personally a little bit better. And so this particular device, like I said, I've been using for a month, and I'm a normal user. I'm not really someone that's going out doing extreme sports, working out constantly, using triathlon settings in here and all those sorts of things. I'm just using this as a watch, a media player, and for a few other things. And so design and size-wise, like I said, I think it fits really well. Prior to this, I was using a Series 7 with the size 10 band, and it looks okay, but on my wrist, I actually feel this is a little bit small because my wrists are so big and my hands are so big. So if I bring this in here, typically on this Ocean band, you'll see I use the second or first rung. So when I'm using this, it actually feels like it fits properly. It doesn't feel too thick to me, even though it's pretty large. It just feels like an average size watch or a normal size watch that fits me proportionally well. So if I bring in my 14 Pro Max, you'll see here that yes, it's pretty large, but in my hands, it actually looks like a normal size phone. So because of that, it just seems proportionate to me a little bit better. And I actually think this looks a lot better in person than it does on video or in photos. I've had someone talk to me about that. They were a little bit disappointed that it was sort of shiny metal, but it's actually more of a matte finish than it is a gloss finish. So you can see it's matte titanium, and I really like it. Many people wanted to have it in sort of a black finish, but I think this looks great as sort of bare titanium as far as the overall look. Maybe they'll change this in the future, but I do like the overall design, the thickness of it, the way they've got the crown guard here, the button, the action button, and of course the speaker and sensors. So all of that combined, if I was to change anything, it might be this back plate here. It just doesn't seem to match color-wise, but you don't really see that a whole lot. I would like this maybe to just be black overall, but either way, it doesn't really matter as it's not something you're looking at constantly. As far as the weight, initially I thought it was a bit heavy, but because I'm using this Ocean band with it, it doesn't feel too different than using this regular watch Series 7 in stainless steel with a stainless steel band on it. So I sometimes would use it with the Nomad titanium or stainless steel bands, and because this is so heavy, they come out about the same, maybe even a little bit lighter with that band on it. So I really don't notice the weight, and the extra bands such as this one or the other band that I have here, the woven nylon, just makes it feel nice and light. It's not something that I even notice. It is not a light watch, but I got used to it very, very fast, so I don't really feel it on my wrist anymore. As far as the watch bands, I do like this Ocean watch band. I had one of the others ordered originally, one of the Velcro bands, but that's still on back order for some reason. So I haven't tried that one. I have tried the Trail Loop, and that one works pretty well. But I do like that it works with all of these bands without a problem. And it actually looks a little bit better than I would have expected with these other bands. So you can use it with whatever band you'd like. If you're coming from the 45 millimeter, it fits no problem. You'll see it fits, works fine. Sometimes I use this band, and you can dress it up. It will look a little bit goofy with the gloss stainless steel, but you could get the matte finish as well. And you'll see here, if I put this on, it fits as well. So it actually looks a lot better than you'd think with some of these glossy bands. And this gives you an idea of what it looks like here. So if I was to use the stainless steel band, now it's extremely heavy. I can feel that weight. But in general, I think it just looks much better in person than it does when you see it in any of the photos or videos. So let me swap these back. So pretty much any watch band that fits the larger Apple Watches will fit the Ultra without any problem. It just may be a matter of taste at that point. As far as durability, I really don't worry about that at all because, well, this is titanium, so it's pretty strong just in general. And then, of course, this is sapphire, which I've found in the past doesn't really scratch. I've banged it into concrete, into bricks. On this watch here, you can see the Series 7, and there's no scratches. You could scratch it with a diamond, and while some have tested it to be lower grade sapphire, either way, it seems to hold up just fine. The glass I've had scratches on, the sapphire I have not. It's also got a little protection around the outside edge. You've got a little lip here. If I bring this in close, you can see the lip where it sort of protects that screen just a little bit, which is really nice. And then, of course, being titanium, it's just super strong and a very durable metal. So I really see no issues as far as durability. Even if you drop it on the floor, maybe some of the ceramic parts on the back here would crack. The ceramic case on the back would crack if you hit the right material. But in general, I wouldn't expect you to break this very easily. Now, the display on this is really great. Not only is it larger, 49 millimeters, but it's also flat. So that's something I really like. It just looks better in my opinion. It's flat. Of course, you've got the different watch faces available, and it's super bright. In fact, when you're outside, you can see here how bright it is. It goes up to 2000 nits, just like the latest iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. So no issues seeing it outside whatsoever. And then if you need to, you can switch it to night mode when you're outside, which is also really nice. And then, of course, you have the other buttons assignable. I assigned the action button to just bring us up to workouts. So I find that I often use this to go for a walk. I'll use it with AirPods and go for an outdoor walk using the Apple Fitness Plus workout session where you just go for a walk with them. And it actually sounds like, if you have it in transparency mode with the AirPods, it sounds like you're walking with them. It's something I find that I use all the time to walk. It's really nice. If we go into here, you'll see time to walk. You can just find one episode that you want to listen to and walk along with it. I find no issues with that. It connects fine, no Bluetooth issues. I've used it with cellular. Again, no issues there. It works really well. I've had no issues with connectivity, and it's just performed as expected. You can see how fast it is as well as far as performance. So the software on this, I think they've gotten really right. I've had no bugs, and as we go in, we'll just go to camera remote. Opens up quickly on my iPhone. If I go back over, go to compass, again, everything's just nice and fast with the latest chip in here. Of course, I haven't tested out the depth app. You do need to go into water for that, so it will sort of activate automatically if you set that option. If you go into water, it will sense that. But just using this in general has been really nice. The larger display makes it easy to type, so 4x4. I can type on this even though I have larger fingers, and even if you had maybe capacitive sensitive gloves, it would be okay for you. It does pick up your audio quite well, so whether you're on a phone call or maybe you're just dictating text, so if we go into a message and we go ahead and tap on the microphone, now it's picking up everything I'm saying, and it seems to do a really good job. In fact, it may do a better job than what the iPhone does. You'll see it's adding punctuation on its own, it's keeping up without a problem, and it in general does a really great job. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. And so I think this larger display is going to be much nicer for some people that maybe just need to see things a little bit better, since all of the text is larger. You have more screen real estate, and also it's easier to touch the different touch targets when you're interacting with it. If we go into music, go back out, go into weather, it's just really nice to use. Something I really enjoy using compared to maybe the older versions. As far as battery life, I usually put it on the charger at night, but it barely uses any power. This has been off the charger since about 9 a.m. this morning, or 9:30, and we're at 92%. And at this time, it's 2:45 p.m. So it barely uses any power. If you're doing a workout, gets you through the day, and it will get up to 60 hours with the latest version of watchOS 9.1 in low power mode. So if you really need to conserve power because you need to save that to get back to a charger, you can turn that on. Although I don't recommend this as it disables a ton of features. But if you need to get back to the maybe charger, you can't, you're out in the wilderness somewhere and you just need to make sure you can save every bit of power, it will get you up to 60 hours according to Apple. I haven't been able to test that though. Another thing that this is great at is accessibility. So with accessibility, you can mirror this now. Of course, that works across all of the different watches now that support it. But if you go into your settings, go to Apple Watch mirroring, you can mirror this on the iPhone. So we'll wait for them to connect. It takes just a moment and you have the option for it to mirror, and then you can control it as needed. So as we scroll through, we can turn the crown here and go down to different apps. Maybe we want to go into music. We'll go into music and it works seamlessly. It works really well and it's great for accessibility users. So I think this watch will be much better as far as that goes, not only if you're visually impaired, but maybe it's just easier to use on your phone. Because of all of those features and options, I think this is great for those who may be visually impaired, despite it being more extreme workout focused. So I think this is a really great option for a lot of people. And when it comes to the price, yes, it's $800, but that's something that's actually cheaper than they had with the titanium versions and ceramic versions of previous watches. So you had aluminum, stainless steel, and then titanium and ceramic in the past. This is titanium at a cheaper price. It's larger, has more memory, has more battery life, and is a great value, I think, at $800 compared to what we used to get with the titanium watch at over $1,000. So no, it's not cheap or inexpensive, but I think given the competition, this is phenomenal as far as tracking you outside with things like that. With the compass, you can use Backtrack. It's got dual GPS antennas and much more. So I'm really impressed this year with the Apple Watch Ultra, and after using it for a month, it's something I'm actually more excited about than I was with the previous generation watches. I just found them to be a bit bland, not really my style, and I'm not mad that there's not a round version of this. I really like this design now. It just seems more durable. It just seems to be something that fits me personally a little bit better. So I can't wait to see what they do with this in the future. Of course, I don't know that you'll need to upgrade every year with one of these, but if you're thinking of picking one up and maybe you have one from a couple years ago, an Apple Watch, and you're considering something maybe a little bit more nice or something that can track a little bit more information, I think it's great with that. And so I use it just for regular everyday use, using it as a watch with music, with weather, and sometimes going for a walk. Not really any extreme sports. I've used it for bike rides, and that's about it. Maybe I'll use it a little bit more in the future, but at least I have those things available. And like I mentioned earlier, it works great for calls. People can hear you well, and I've had no issues. I'm really impressed with this, and I think this is some of the best work Apple's done in a long time. The software feels very solid, no problems, and I've had no crashes or anything. Battery life is great and more. Now, if you've got an Apple Watch Ultra or you're considering it, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Of course, if you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, I'll link it in the description like I normally do. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.